Spain just proposed a 47% tax on Bitcoin gains. But that's not the scary part. They're also giving themselves the power to seize your crypto, to classify it as a seizable asset that the government can take whenever they want. And at the exact same time, on the other side of the world, Thailand announced 0% tax on crypto for the next 5 years. Zero. They're rolling out the red carpet saying, bring your wealth here. We want you. The world is splitting into two camps, freedom countries and control countries. And the question every Australian needs to ask themselves is, which side are you on? Because I'll tell you right now, we're not on the side you think we are. All right, let's break this down, because what's happening right now is one of the biggest wealth migrations in human history. And most people have no idea it's even happening. Start with Spain. They're not just raising taxes, they're declaring a war on Bitcoin holders. 47% tax on any gains. That's nearly half your profits gone. But it gets worse. They're classifying all crypto as seizable assets. And that means if the government decides they want your Bitcoin, they can take it. No questions asked. And this isn't just talk. Spain has already sent out over 620,000 tax warning notices to crypto holders. I mean, this is insane. That's more than 500,000 people getting letters from the tax office saying, we know you have Bitcoin and we know how much you have, and we're coming after it for our own cut. A Spanish economist came out and said, this will make Bitcoin holders flee when Bitcoin rises. And he's right, because why would you stay in a country that's going to take half your gains and give themselves the power to seize the rest? And that's exactly what's happening. Wealthy Spanish Bitcoin holders are already leaving. They're moving to Portugal, they're moving to Dubai, and you know my thoughts about Dubai. That's a place that I'm already looking at moving to. They're moving anywhere that doesn't treat them like criminals for owning Bitcoin. Now let's look at the UK, because they're taking it even further. Starting January of next year, right, which is only like a few weeks away, the UK is implementing total surveillance on crypto. Every single transaction you make on an exchange will be reported directly to the tax authority. Every buy, every sell, every transfer, they'll know everything. But it doesn't stop there. The UK is now considering temporary limits on how much crypto their citizens can hold. I mean, this is a joke. Think about that. The government telling you you can only own this much Bitcoin, right? Any more than that, and we're going to step in. This is one of the strongest moves towards controlled crypto exposure in a major economy. They're not even hiding it anymore. They're openly saying, we want control. We want to limit your freedom. We want to know exactly what you're doing with your money. This is the control model. Spain, the UK, and as we'll see in a minute, Australia, they're all following the same playbook. More surveillance, higher taxes, more power to seize your assets. They see Bitcoin as a threat, and they're going to do everything they can to contain it. Now, let's flip this to the other side, the freedom side. Thailand just announced 0% tax on capital gains on crypto from 25 to 2029. Now, 5 years of zero tax. Now, why would they do that? Because they want to attract investors. They want to attract capital into their country. They want to compete in the global economy. And they know that if they offer a better deal than everyone else, people will come. And it's working. Crypto investors are moving to Thailand. They're setting up businesses there. They're bringing their wealth there because the math is simple. Now, why pay 47% tax in Spain when you can pay 0% tax in Thailand, right? Then you've got Japan. They're moving to a 20% flat tax on crypto to stay competitive. And I don't even think that's that great, but at least it's better than 47%. They looked around and said, if we don't lower our taxes, we're going to lose all our talent and capital to countries that will. Now, this is the freedom model. Lower taxes, less regulation, and more competition. These countries understand that the capital is mobile, right? Capital can move around the world freely. Now, if you treat people badly, they'll leave. And if you treat them well, they'll come. So where does Australia fit into all of this? We're following, unfortunately, I hate saying this, the UK and the Spain model. Increased surveillance, higher taxes, more control. The ATO is already tracking crypto transactions. They're getting data from exchanges. They're sending out warning letters. And if you think they're not going to keep tightening the screws, you're kidding yourself. We've got a 47% top marginal tax rate. That's 45% plus 2% Medicare levy. I hate even having to say that because it's so outrageous. Now, if you sell your Bitcoin, the government takes nearly half. And they're introducing new superannuation taxes on balances over $3 million. 30% on earnings above that threshold starting in 2026. Australia is not a freedom country. We're a control country. And the wealthy are already figuring that out. I know people who have moved to Dubai. I know people who have set up residency in Cyprus. They're not doing it because they hate Australia. They're doing it because they love their freedom. And they're not willing to hand over their wealth to a government that sees them as a piggy bank. Now, not everyone can just pack up and leave. I get it. But if you're holding crypto in your SMSF here in Australia, you can at least make sure you're with a provider that actually works for you. If you're dealing with clunky platforms, slow support, or compliance headaches, switch to CoinStash. They're 100% Australian with dedicated SMSF specialists you can actually call. Same day onboarding, and they handle all the admin so you can focus on building your wealth. And right now, they're offering $100 in free Bitcoin when you switch your SMSF crypto over. Link in the description. All right, so here's what's really happening. The world is splitting into two camps, and the gap is widening fast. On one side, you've got countries like Spain and the UK. They're increasing taxes, increasing surveillance, and giving themselves the power to seize your assets. They see Bitcoin as a threat to their control, and they're doing everything they can to stop it. On the other side, you've got countries like Thailand and Japan and Dubai. They're lowering taxes, reducing regulation, and competing for your capital. They see Bitcoin as an opportunity and they're embracing it. And here's the thing, this isn't going to stop. It's only going to accelerate as Bitcoin continues to rise. As more people realize it's the best store of value in human history, governments are going to have to choose. Are they going to embrace it or are they going to fight it? The freedom countries are going to embrace it, and they're going to attract all the wealth, all the talent, all the innovation. The control countries are going to fight it, and they're going to lose because you can't stop Bitcoin. You can't shut it down. You can't seize it if people hold it in self-custody, of course. All you can do is drive people away. And that's exactly what's happening. The great wealth migration has begun, and it's only going to get bigger. Now, I know some of you are thinking, Matt, I can't just pack up and move to Thailand. I've got a family, I've got a business, I've got a life here, my kids go to school here. I get it. Not everyone can pack up and leave. But here's what you need to understand. You don't have to move tomorrow, but you do need to start thinking about your options. You need to start planning for a future where Australia might not be the best place for you to hold your wealth, because the question isn't if you'll need an exit plan, it's actually when. Now, Bitcoin gives you that option. It gives you the ability to take your wealth anywhere in the world. You can hold it in self-custody. You can move it across borders in seconds. You can store it in a country with 0% tax, even if you're physically living somewhere else. That's the power of Bitcoin. It's not just a store of value. It's a tool for financial sovereignty. It's a way to opt out of the system that's rigged against you and me. And that's why governments are so scared of it, because for the first time in history, people have an alternative. They don't have to accept 47% taxes, right? Like we do here in Australia. They don't have to accept surveillance. They don't have to accept the government's control. They can just leave and take their wealth with them. So here's the bottom line. The world is splitting into freedom countries and control countries. Spain, the UK, and Australia on the control side, sadly. Thailand, Japan, and the UAE on the freedom side. The great wealth migration has already started. It's only going to accelerate. Now you have a choice. You can stay in a system that takes 47% of your gains and gives itself the power to seize your assets, or you can start thinking strategically about how you hold your wealth, where you live, and what your exit plan looks like. Because the question isn't if you need one, it's when. All right. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.
Hey, thanks for tuning into Crypto Collective. If you enjoyed this video, the best way to show your support is to subscribe to the channel, or if you're listening on Spotify, leave a 5-star review. It really helps me to create more content just for you. Also, if you're ready to level up your crypto journey, make sure to check out CoinStash. It's the platform that I trust to buy, sell, and hold crypto with ease. You can also find more of me at I'm Matthew Fraser on all social media platforms. Take care.